It's January 5, 2023. My name is Jimmy Van, and this is KYN Live. My guest says she likes quesadillas for both celebrating and for crying into. She's apparently really into AI rendering, and she'd love to move to England, except she thinks the food sucks. She is a pro wrestler and model. This is Gabby Ortiz. Gabby, how you doing?
I need to be more careful about the things I tweet. I'm good. How are you?
I am doing good. I always do my research the morning of the podcast to get stuff for the intro. And so I had options. Like for you, I was like, okay, do I mention that she seems to be obsessed with Sprite? Do I mention that? But I kept it down to these three. And so there you go. So I was teasing Gabby off the air. I said, what a nice office you have at home. Look at that. But
my fireplace.
We won't talk about where she is right now. Here's what's going to happen. We are going to talk to KYN 7 of the top news stories of the week that are stupid, funny, and weird. I'm going to get your reactions, and I'll ask you questions along the way, and no pro wrestling. So refreshing, right?
Feels like a nice detox.
Nice detox. That's what it is. Yeah. And guys, send in your super chats to get your question or statement read on the air. If you don't want to donate through YouTube, or if you can't catch the show live, go to kynchat.com, leave a question or statement anytime you want, and we will read it on the air. And I feel like a broken record, Gabby. I always say this. There's so many stupid stories that exist in this world. I have to work to whittle it down to 7 every time I do this. It just never ceases to amaze me. And so I got 7 good ones. Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
All right, let's start with story number 7, reported by The Drive. Okay, sometimes you hear stories about a robber trying to steal something where you think to yourself, there is no way that they're ever going to get away with it. So why did they even bother to try? And that is the case with the man in Colorado who stole a car. He wasn't hard to spot. And so the next day, the police caught up to him and eventually they arrested him. And my question is, what was it about this car heist that made you know that this guy was going to get caught?
Well, it's Colorado, and I assume South Park is a documentary about Colorado. So I'm certain the car must have had some sort of identifying factors that make it look ridiculous. Maybe it's not even a car, maybe it's a tank. But yeah, I would assume it has some pretty identifying factors to it.
A Colorado tank. Well, you actually nailed it on the head with the identifying factors. So the guy stole a smart car that had been painted to look like a little Tykes cozy coupe. Here is a video of the so-called high-speed chase, courtesy of Kelly and Stephen Boucher on Facebook. Look at this. This was real. Look at this car right there. Look at that thing.
Oh my God, it's cute. I was stolen it too.
And here come the police, and they're not trying too hard. Look at them. They're not trying too hard.
Up. Now, that literally is from a South Park episode. That's so funny.
Here's a better shot of what the car looks like that the guy stole. Look at this. Look at that.
Oh my God, it has the little logo on it.
And the little sticker. My kids had one just like that.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. What could have made the robber think that this was a good idea? Do you think maybe this was childhood nostalgia? He was walking in a parking lot and he's like, oh my God, look at that. Why did he think it was a good idea to steal this car?
Well, we all have ways of healing our childhood wounds and our childhood trauma. And that could be buying stuffed animals like I do, or watching anime like nerds do. But that might have been maybe he never got that toy as a kid. I know I had it. Your kids had it. I know a bunch of kids had it. Maybe he just never got it and he wanted it. I'm assuming this is a man. This could be a woman. This could be non-binary. Whoever it is.
It was a man.
They're just healing childhood wounds, and I can relate to that.
Interesting. Okay, so kind of a related question. If you could own a grown-up version of any toy that you had as a kid, what would it be?
A Barbie dream house.
That's a good answer. So
the version is like a house, right?
It would be a house.
Okay. Then a Barbie dream house.
Now here's the problem.
An elevator, you crank it.
It'd be pink plastic.
Hell yeah.
You'd want a giant pink plastic house?
Absolutely.
Are you looking forward to the movie coming out?
Oh my God, yeah. Yes.
Uh-huh.
I thought when I saw that the director's name was Greta, I thought that the Greta Thunberg was the director. I was like, why is she directing a Barbie movie?
Probably completely on the other side. Yeah. Yeah. Probably.
But then I realized it wasn't her. So
Interesting. A life-size Barbie dream house. That's fascinating. Cranking
yeah.
the elevator, like you said.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to story number 6, reported by Lancaster Live. All right, there's a gym in the UK called PT Factory. They put up a billboard poster, and it was meant to be a lighthearted joke. Some reacted to it positively, so some got the joke, but a lot of people didn't, and the billboard ended up getting vandalized. Any idea what that billboard said outside the gym that drew such a mixed reaction?
Oh man, I don't know. Was the UK?
This is the UK. You know, the place that you'd live if not for the fact that the food sucks.
It sucks. I can't. It's the ketchup's good. I get ketchup when I was there. Fudge. What could it be? Maybe something about a wang. I know they talk about wangs a lot there, or like I don't know. Is it like penis related?
Where the hell in England are you hanging out?
Camden Town. A lot of crazy stuff goes on there. I don't know, man. That's a hard one.
Okay, so the billboard
has something to do with penises. I don't know.
I mean, you're on the right podcast because we do stories about that. But in this case, what the billboard said that pissed some people off was the billboard said, "Tired of being fat and ugly? Now just be ugly." Here's a picture of the billboard. So that, and this is real. Tired of being fat and ugly? Now just be ugly. People were pissed off about that. And here is the aftermath after the angry people got done with it. There you go.
Boo. They could have done better.
Yeah, they probably could have. It was probably like a quick smash and go. You know what I mean?
I mean, oh no, that's so funny. I mean, like,
I was going to ask you if that offends you or not, or if you think it's a joke. So you get the joke part of it.
I got the joke. I mean, my dad's a really big guy, and he always makes fun of like how heavy he is, right? And I think it's in jest. You know, there are plenty of heavy people that are incredibly healthy and athletic, and you got to take some stuff in jest. There are jokes that are offensive, and you should be really, really, really angry about. And I think, you know, this one was it worth, you know, buying and throwing paint on it and potentially getting arrested for it? Probably not. But who am I to say? It's hard for me to be offended about something like that because I've never experienced being overweight. So I'm gonna just shut my
I thought you were gonna say because I've never experienced being ugly.
I look at my teeth, dude. Yeah, I've experienced being ugly.
Well, question for you on this one: have you ever posted something intended to be lighthearted, but it was taken completely the wrong way?
I think it was like something about my mental health. I was making a joke, like a lighthearted joke about it, and someone took it really seriously, and they were upset about that. They were upset that I was making light of mental health, and then I was in the middle of writing an apology about it. Like I didn't mean to offend anybody. Then I was like, no, I'm not. This is my journey. This is how I cope with my mental health issues or whatever it may be. Laughter is the best medicine. I believe that fully. And so I ended up not apologizing.
Good for you. Good for you. People get offended by everything.
Yeah.
So I don't post a ton, but if I do offend anybody, I don't apologize. It's not intentional anyway. I don't apologize. No, good for you. Good for you. All right. Reminder, guys, get in your super chats, have your question or statement read on the air. Or if you can't catch the show live, go to kynchat.com, leave a contribution at any time, and we will read your question or statement on the next show. All right. On to story number 5. And I think you're going to like this one. On to story number 5, reported by The Guardian. So 2023 marks the 20th anniversary of a calendar that they publish in Rome, Italy every year. The calendar also gets somewhat of a mixed reaction, almost like that billboard in the last story. It gets somewhat of a mixed reaction. And so my question is, what is it about this Roman calendar that's so polarizing?
Well, I think Rome is close to the Vatican, right? Like it's kind of in Rome.
Right.
Is it like sexy popes, sexy nuns, sexy something like that?
You are made for this podcast. That is correct. It's known as the Hot Priest Calendar. And we got pics courtesy of The Guardian and Piero Pazzi. Look at these. So each month of the calendar is represented by a nameless man of the cloth, photographed in black and white, usually against a Catholic backdrop. But here is the truth, though. These people are not all actually priests, and a lot of them aren't even Italian. The photographer, his name is Piero Pazzi, he visits different cities to photograph men during Easter time. And the calendar has been criticized because they repeat a lot of the same images year after year. What do you think?
There's not a lot of sexy priests.
Or guys dressing up, I guess, as sexy priests. I don't know, because they're not actually priests. What do you think of Italy's hot priest calendar? You think good idea, or you think maybe not so much?
I think it's a great idea.
I kind of thought you would.
I think it's
kind of thought you would.
Idea.
So do you think, like, the biggest criticism is that it promotes sexuality and Catholic priests can't marry? So you got no issue with that, right? You see the light side of it?
Dude, I could write a dissertation about why that's not the issues that the Catholic Church needs to be worried about. Okay. Maybe this isn't the conversation to have about that. But I think that it's completely a lighthearted thing to do, and they're all adult men or women.
Fortunately, yes.
Fortunately. So
yes.
Yeah, who cares? I mean, who cares? Like, I guess the Catholics care. So.
Yeah, some of them might. Maybe they just want their cut. That could be part of it. All right, Pastor Present, is there any kind of theme calendar that you or someone close to you, they love so much that they would get a new one every year?
I mean, I get a new Bob's Burgers calendar every year. But that's kind of like not as fun as, I don't know, I guess. I'm going to just stick with that. Like, I get a Bob's Burgers calendar every single year since they've
always
been
Bob's
made.
Burgers.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. That's just your cartoon love, I guess.
Yes, my favorite cartoon.
Interesting. All right, let's go on to story number 4, reported by CBS Pittsburgh. All right, these keep going. There's a guy in Greensburg, Pennsylvania. His name is Lucas Smith. He lives across the street from the local middle school, and he decided to do something in his front yard in clear view of the school that horrified the kids. Gabby, what did Mr. Lucas Smith do in his front yard?
This is in Pennsylvania?
This is in Pennsylvania.
Okay. There's a lot of weirdos in Pennsylvania. Did he put, like, it horrified the kids?
Horrified the kids.
Was it, like, just dead bodies, mannequins of, like, that look like dead bodies that scared the kids, or something like that?
You're pretty close. So he hung a deer up from a tree and he butchered it right there in his front yard.
Oh my God.
Here is a clip courtesy of CBS Pittsburgh. Check this out. Look at this. Okay. So they censored it out, but this is his front yard across the street from the school. He says he bagged the buck earlier in the week. He feels terrible butchering it in front of the school, but he has no other trees in his yard to hang it from. He said unless he gets someone else to process his deer for him, he's going to do the exact same thing next year and butcher the deer right in front of the school. So do you empathize with him, between a rock and a hard place thing, or do you think that he should just figure shit out?
He needs to figure it out. I'm so not a person that's into hunting or killing animals like that. I mean, I eat meat and stuff, but, like, I get that at the grocery store. You can just go to the grocery store. Like, I don't understand why he would need to do that in front of a bunch of kids. That actually reminds me of the one scene in Napoleon Dynamite that I try to skip over every single time. It's when the school bus is driving and the guy that lives across the street from Napoleon shoots the cow, like, point blank, and the kids all see it and they scream. I hate that scene so much. I know it's supposed to be funny, but it makes me so sad.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do? I mean, the good thing about this guy is that he eats his own kill. So it's not like he's just killing for sport, right? It's not safari. He butchers it because he wants to eat the meat. Mm-hmm. But I guess what can you do? He claims he's got one tree. The tree's across the street from the school. I don't know. I guess you can't just lay them on, like, a big table or something. You know what I mean? They got to hang them up, I guess.
I mean, if you go to, like, a butcher, right, they have that meat, like, hanging from the ceiling, right? I can't imagine that that's necessarily, like, I mean, I'm sure he's cooking and cleaning it. Yeah. Dude, that's like a really weird kind of moral sort of.
Yeah, it kind of is what it is. And, I mean, Brock Lesnar's got his own little butcher shop, but not everybody can afford that. So
not everyone can afford. Maybe he should hit up Brock Lesnar. I thought we weren't talking about wrestling here.
I'm just talking about his
I'm
butchering.
just kidding.
Just about his butchering. That's it. All right. So, question for you. You kind of already answered it, although this is kind of an open-ended question. Have you ever killed any kind of animal in your life, either accidentally or on purpose?
Nope.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Did you hit a squirrel with your car?
Nope. I, in fact, have stopped and hurt myself from hitting a squirrel with my car.
Is
I'm
that
like,
right?
I mean, like, are we counting bugs? Like, because
No,
I've
not
killed
really.
bugs
Like
before.
something with like blood. I don't know, like a bird or a skunk or anything, any kind of an animal like that.
It's so hard for me to be on my own high horse about this because like I eat meat basically every single day. So it's like, who am I to be like, I've never killed an animal? Like I chew them and grind their meat up in my mouth and then like digest it. So, but I've never killed an animal.
Really? Let me ask you this then. This is just me spitballing. So when I was a kid, I had a cat, and one night it was like the middle of the night. The cat was meowing its ass off at my door. I opened the door, and he had a live mouse in his mouth because cats like to show you their catch.
Yeah.
Came into the room, let the mouse go. The mouse took off into my closet. And what can you do? So I opened the closet, found a box, took care of the mouse.
Yeah.
What would you have done in that situation?
Would have just let the mouse hang. I've literally done that. My cat, I have 2 cats. So they've done that where like my one cat, Mindy, she doesn't like to kill anything. She will find an animal or a bug and play with it and then let it go. It's literally happened where I've seen her like bat around a mouse and let it go. And I'm just like, it was probably like here and I didn't even know it the whole time. So I just kind of let it.
So if it ran into your closet, you'd be like, okay, have a good night.
Probably.
Wow.
I think mice are cute though.
Yeah, until they shit all over the place.
That is true. I will say this, like if I did tell my dad, which I normally would be like, oh, a mouse got in my closet, he would take care of it. I'd close my eyes and walk away.
Gotcha. So. Okay, that's your solution. Okay, I don't have that option.
Don't let dad do it.
Okay. It's me or nobody, so it's got to get done because my wife won't touch it. So it's me or nobody. All right, final reminder, get in your super chats, have your question or statement right on the air, or go to kynchat.com, leave a contribution at any time, and we'll read your question or statement on the next show. All right, we're whipping through these. Let's go to story number 3, reported by Fox 29 Philadelphia. This one's interesting. So it seems like people will steal anything these days. Police are investigating a theft at City Hall in Philadelphia, which happened early one morning, and they released video surveillance of the suspect. Gabby, what did this guy steal from City Hall in Philly?
He stole my laptop. That's where I am right now. I'm in City Hall. I don't know where my laptop is.
Are you seriously?
Yeah, I'm in City Hall in Philadelphia right now.
Okay, then you must know this one, right? You must know this one.
Actually, I have no idea what you're talking about. No, let me think. Was it like... Was it like a holiday decoration that we had or something? Because we just took down all our holiday stuff.
No, but I think as soon as I say it, it's probably going to ring a bell. So
Yeah.
What the guy did was he ripped off a piece of a brass railing and he hid it in a shopping cart. And we have a clip courtesy of the Philadelphia Police Department. Look at this clip. So the dude he's got the brass railing in the shopping cart.
Yes.
And and I can't believe that he actually ripped off a piece of a brass railing. I assume that he's scavenging for scrap. But like, how are you going to sell that? Like, you're going to bring that someplace. They're going to look at this thing. Wouldn't they know this is different? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you going to do? There's cameras everywhere. And like, I don't get it. This might be the same guy that took the smart car.
It might be. Where's it going to fit in the smart car? It's too big to fit in the smart car.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I did hear about this. I completely forgot about it because there's so many ridiculous things that happen in this city. I did see that video though. I saw it on Facebook, I think it was. I think like behind, did you see that little thing right there where it said welcome on it with the red?
Yeah.
They're doing work behind that. So that could have just been scrap that was already like kind of taken out that he was able to pick up and just like move with.
Maybe. I heard that he ripped it out, but who knows?
But he also stole my laptop. So
that sucks. That sucks. So the bottom of the shopping cart had your laptop.
Yeah.
And right. This guy's on a roll. He's stealing smart cars, brass railings, laptops. What a guy.
That's so funny. You had a City Hall story for me. Kick it away.
It's almost like I knew. So when you think of Philadelphia, and you're a good one to ask this question, when you think of Philadelphia, what do you think of first? Do you think of a sports team? Do you think of Rocky Balboa, or do you think of something else?
I think of City Hall because like I work here now, but I also kind of grew up here because this is where my mom worked and my dad also did work here too. And just like it's the center of the city, it's the most middle point of the city you can get, and the architecture is so beautiful. It's beautiful enough you want to steal a piece of it and take it home,
Apparently.
and um, that's what I think of when I think of Philly. I think our city hall is really beautiful and unique. So it's where I spend so much time.
Interesting. I admit, so I'm a big Rocky guy because I think most men are.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to Philly. I admit it. I climbed the steps. I took the picture. And as a matter of fact, I don't know if I can get this thing on camera. The guy that created the statue, I had him bronze this for me.
Wow.
Yeah, that's an exact replica made from the exact same guy that did the real one.
That's
So
really cool. That's spot on, obviously.
it
It
is.
should be, right?
It's identical. Yes,
Yeah, that's so cool.
that tells you that
Have you
I'm a big
seen it
Rocky
since
fan.
they've moved it to the side of the art museum?
I think when I was there, they had already moved it because it
Okay.
wasn't at the top of the stairs anymore.
Yeah, they have it like right to the side. People like line up to take pictures
Yeah,
with
yeah,
it.
yeah,
It's really
yeah.
cool. I've
Yeah.
never seen Rocky, but
What was that?
Did you say something?
You haven't seen Rocky? You've never seen the Rocky movies?
Mm-mm.
I think we need to move on to story number 2. Reported by ArtNet News. They're damn good movies. I've seen them a million times. Police in London. We're going to London now, the place you don't want to live because of the food. Police in London barged into an art gallery after getting a phone call about a person who appeared to be unconscious inside. So officers, they forced their way in because they wanted to save the person. They spotted the woman who hadn't moved in a couple of hours. Gabby, what happened next?
Art is weird, and maybe this is a modern art museum. I'm gonna go ahead and say she was an art piece. Maybe she was not even a real person. Just, or she could have just been taking a little nap.
You are excellent at Know Your News Live. It wasn't a person, it was a mannequin that was part of an exhibit, and we got pictures. Go ahead, Joel. So this is called Christina. Christina is a life-size sculpture of a woman passed out at a computer desk by American artist Mark Jenkins. The sculpture was commissioned by gallery owner Steve Lazaritis, who wanted a depiction of a time that his sister fell asleep with her face in a bowl of soup. And so this is what he got done. Taxpayer money put to good use. What do you think, Gabby?
I mean, I feel like they snuck into my house and took a picture of me at my desk. That's exactly what I'll look like if I need to fall asleep somewhere quick. But
okay, put that up again, Joel. Put that up again.
Yeah, that looks like me right there.
Really, just slam the old head down into the desk there.
When I'm eating ramen, yeah, just out. Did she die? Did she like drown in the soup or something? Is that what this is like?
It almost, you know what it looks like? It looks like she just told somebody that she's never seen the Rocky movies. That's what it looks like to me. Hey, Joel Pearl agrees. Joel Pearl agrees. All right. Have you ever mistaken an inanimate object for something that was real?
Yeah, so like it was in my house. It was I guess my dad had left his hoodie hanging up on something that it wasn't supposed to be hung up on, and I thought it was a person, and it scared the living heck out of me. But I think everybody's kind of had that experience of like seeing something hung up, thinking it was like a human there, and just like freaked out about it.
I remember like going to the zoo and like you see something and you think it's a rock and then it moves, like that kind of thing.
Oh yes, you're talking about something like that.
Yeah, anything really, anything. Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I can't think of anything. But one time I did see this like what looked like a toy car. Mm-hmm. It was big, and I thought it wasn't a real car. But then it started driving away, and someone was in it, and then a big police car started following it. So.
Really?
Does that count?
Was it a red and yellow smart car that had a little stolen by the brass railing guy?
You must have seen it too. He also got my laptop.
I think I did. I think it did. Well, the police chase was going so fast, I could have like jogged alongside him the whole time. Yeah. All right. It is time for story number 1. All right. This is fun. I'm going to have you on again. Story number 1, reported by the Art newspaper. Okay. Right up your alley. You're going to like this. So a stone carving was discovered in Turkey, believed to be 11,000 years old. It portrays a series of interactions between humans and animals, not unlike frames from a film strip. That's kind of what it looks like. And it might be the earliest known depiction of a narrative scene, where they're trying to tell a story. The carving went viral because of this depiction between human beings and animals. And my question for you is, what was this carving about that caused it to go viral? So there's humans in there and there's animals in there. What was it about that caused it to go viral?
Was it about like the domestication of animals? Like they were like it was showing how they made animals their pets back 11,000 years ago, however long you said. Is something like that?
Interesting answer. So it shows two leopards standing on the other side of a man who's holding his penis. And we got pics. Go ahead, Joel.
Great.
There's the dude right there with the two leopards. I want to know what story the artist was trying to tell when he decided to carve two leopards looking at a dude holding his dick. So try to give me some creative thought process here, Gabby. What do you think the narrative scene is with the two leopards and the guy standing there holding his dick?
He could have been a conservationist who was hoping that the leopards would know what to do to breed. And he was showing, this is the part that you use to do that. Because, I don't know, maybe 11,000 years ago, like, leopards were going extinct and they knew it and they needed to teach them how to breed. I don't know.
I mean, there were two of them, so at least you know that, there was more than one. Unless they're part of the same litter, I guess.
It was a sex education lesson for the leopards. That's what it was.
Fascinating. Interesting for him to stand there holding his dick in front of the two. Really? So do you have any kind of artistic skill with your hands? Not like the guy standing between the leopards, though. Do you have any kind of artistic skill with your hands? Maybe woodworking, maybe chiseling stone, shaving ice, painting, anything?
I can sew. I can hand sew. I do my makeup really well. Not today. I don't have makeup on today. And I can do my nails. I'm ambidextrous, so I can do both of my nails like really nice.
You can sew. Do you do your own gear?
Yeah.
You do your own gear.
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating. The things I'm learning today.
Yeah.
Amazing. See, and I kept that clean. I could have asked anything. I could have gone in any direction.
I could have too. I'm not gonna lie, when you first mentioned like animals and humans 11,000 years ago, my brain went somewhere that I didn't want it to go.
Bestiality, right? You're thinking bestiality.
Anyway, so
almost. I mean, at least the scene stopped there. You know what I mean?
Thank God.
So like the dude was ready to go, but it stopped there. So
he was like, we got that. This is not okay.
All right. I want to thank our guest, Gabby Ortiz, for joining us. Gabby, tell the people what you're doing and where they can find you.
Hi, I am Gabby Ortiz, obviously. You can find me all over social media at Gabby. That's at GABBITY. And I will be wrestling for Pro Wrestling R in Westville, New Jersey on January 29th. I have all that on my social media if you want to learn more about it.
Amazing. That's going to do it for KYN Live. Tune in next Thursday at 3 o'clock Eastern for more silliness that's totally real. Until then, bye for now.